Hey friends, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Lindsey.
And we're not your average mamas.
On this podcast, we're here to make you laugh, share our experiences, and provide helpful tidbits that will make your parenting journey just a little bit easier.
So grab your favorite drink, sit back and relax, and let us join you in your multitasking.
Not your average mamas.
A podcast showing you that parenting is anything but ordinary.
Ding, 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 ding. It's gotta be it.
A podcast by moms for moms. Today.
You say that?
I'll give you candy.
That's cute.
He's at daycare.
It's Jordan.
He's at work.
We're at Kim's place.
No, he works at a different place.
We're different place.
With the song, High Heels on My Tippies. And I could not get that out of my head. I was just like, high heels on my tippies.
I always think they say titties.
On my titties.
High heels on my titties. Check. It's like I've never recorded a podcast before.
Gosh, you're just an amateur.
You know what? You're the sound girl.
I'm that sound bitch.
Lindsey the sound bitch. Sound betch.
I did watch this TikTok, and this guy, I forget what he was screaming, but this guy made a video screaming something about Taco Bell, and he made it into a dub song, and it sounded so good. But I saw all the audio stuff he was doing, and I was like, I actually know what he's doing.
Nice.
That makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah, I learned something this year.
Yes, I think that's one of the coolest things about this is it just reminds you that you're always able to relearn or learn a new skill.
Yeah, for sure.
I told them to I don't know if I told them to keep the dogs in the room. I swear that I did. I think there was a reason the door was shut. If they want their money that I bribed my kids with to stay out
No,
of here.
it was an incentive.
Incentivizing. Everybody likes incentives, okay?
We all do.
$2 a kid is a small price to pay for peace.
It really is.
And they're literally watching Hotel Transylvania, so they're fine. Welcome to episode 16.
16.
Sweet 16.
Hey there, this is Lindsey while I'm editing. This is actually episode 17, and this is just proof that we have no idea what we're talking about half the time. Now back to your regularly scheduled podcast.
That's crazy. Every time we say the number, I poop myself a little bit.
16. Oh. 16. Just kidding. I'm just going to drop that every once in a while through that.
16.
It stinks in here.
Luckily, you guys can't smell it and you can only hear it.
Lucky for you, you can hear her poop herself. Anyway, how's your week going?
It's good. I just worked a 12-hour shift yesterday. I feel like my larynx, I think I have laryngitis. I don't know. I'm just diagnosing myself. I can't go to the doctor right now because I don't have insurance until Thursday. So,
oh, dang. That's a bummer.
I'm just hitting that T real hard and trying to shut up. But
instead, we're going to record a podcast.
Yeah.
And then your voice can be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
That's tomorrow's problem.
Yeah, that's future Lindsey's problem. I have to say, your birthday party was a hit.
Thank you. It was not my birthday party, but it was for two of my children.
I mean, you threw it and you're the one that birthed them. So
that's true. It was also my birthday, and they turned 3 and 6, and it's been birthday month.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Beat. I'm just going to say I'm earning my vacation.
Yeah.
I leave on my birthday on the 28th. And I just really feel like I earned that time off because this month has been crazy.
It has been. I feel like I've just been running around with my head chopped off, and you have been too. We both earned our vacations.
That's so true. I'm so happy we both have a vacation so we don't have to be jealous of each other.
I know, but I definitely am jealous. I wish I could go with you.
Oh, we'll swap. Jesse can go on the honeymoon with you. You come to the all-inclusive.
Yeah, he'll go with Jordan and I'll go with you. Bye.
Well, we're going to plan something else this summer for just us since they're going to the Boundary Waters this summer. So it's a lot of give and take when you're parents.
For sure. But I do want to plan a tropical trip with you once in our lives.
Yes.
My gosh.
Maybe for your 30th.
Yes.
I'd be down for that.
Oh my
for
gosh.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it bad if I spend my 30th birthday with my best friend and not my husband?
Well, they can come if they choose. But we need to prioritize here.
Yes, for sure.
Well, I have had a fantastic week, even though it's Tuesday, because last week I was feeling real overwhelmed and I was trying to do all the things and I was frazzled because of not just the birthdays, but I've been working more and trying to do homeschooling, trying to give my kids the best of me. And I was failing at it. So
yeah,
I just didn't know what to do. And so I wrote on my Minnesota homeschoolers page, how do you do it? How do you get groceries done and clean the house and do school and work and be a good wife? And how do you do all the things? Just tell me your tricks of the trade. Long story short, we ended up hiring a nanny.
I'm so excited for you.
I'm so excited. I feel almost like I manifested her because she could not be more perfect of exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
She loves doing kids yoga for one. She's like really big into mindfulness and meditation, which I think will be amazing for them. My kids loved her. And we're only going to have a half day Tuesday and a full day Thursday, but I'm going to be able to work more. Yeah. My kids will have someone to play with them and bring them to the park and stuff while I'm working and while I run to the store and while I clean. And honestly, I just feel so happy and so at peace. Like I just feel like things are getting under control.
Yeah.
And I know that's a huge, huge luxury to be able to have a nanny as a stay-at-home mom, but I do work too. So.
Yeah. The thing is you do work and like daycare costs for Ray.
Only Ray would be in daycare.
But still, that would have been like $1,400 a month.
We were paying for 4 days a week, $800 a week.
Yeah.
For the three of them. And now it's like, it was hard to know, what do you do for school-aged kids? Like, and also it's really expensive to do 1 day drop-in daycare. Anyway, I just am super excited and happy. We'll have help starting mid-March. I just really feel excited about the future and being able to be more present with my kids is the biggest thing. So
yeah, I feel like them having another person in their lives will also help because I just feel like they're like totally obsessed with you, which is like nice and fun and all that, but like also like I just need a minute.
Yeah, it'll be just great. She's like, she lives 4 minutes away from here.
Oh, nice.
And she's like, I have a trampoline. We can like literally just walk to my house and go for nature walks and go to the park. And I can take them to Valley Fair or what, like, because we have season passes to these things. I just am so happy I found someone that's confident. She has 3 grown kids. The youngest is 15. So that I found someone confident in handling 3 kids out in public. And that's was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, that's just my like,
I'm so excited.
My life update, and I'm very excited. Before we start, we had a tragedy happen in our
neighborhood.
Not our neighborhood, but our city.
It was very close to where we both live. Which is,
like right between.
Every tragedy is sad and hard to deal with, but like I feel like when it's in what feels like your backyard, it's like hits a little harder and like just like slaps you in the face and reminds you like. Every day is a gift. Find the good in the mundane because you're not guaranteed the mundane every day.
That's true. And it was heartbreaking to wake up Sunday morning. It was Sunday morning, correct?
Yeah, it happened like really early Sunday morning.
There was a shelter in place. There was an active shooter. And unfortunately, a firefighter paramedic named Adam Finseth and officers Matthew Rouge and officer Paul Elmstrand lost their lives. They were responding to a domestic abuse situation at the home, and the shooter killed himself too. So sadly, there's just no justice all around, and it's just really heartbreaking. So we just wanted to take a moment to pay our respects to them and honor them and just a minute of silence because everyone's hearts are broken. And we want to just thank the first responders and the
Yeah.
police officers for really putting their lives on the line every day. And I'm super grateful I don't have to face situations like that. And I'm thankful somebody does, but
Yeah.
very, very sad.
And they were all so like, I feel like 2 of them were like my age. Like, I just feel like all of them were just like babies.
I know they're like 20s, maybe 30.
20s, 30s. I think one of them was 40.
They looked very young.
They looked so young. Like, oh my gosh.
Obviously, it doesn't matter if they're old or young, but you just see
I know,
them,
but like,
they had their whole lives ahead of them. And then you're like,
yeah.
pointless. Just pointless. I'm just so sick of hearing of these shootings. It just makes me sick. So
our hearts go out to the families, friends, everybody. Obviously, the officer community, paramedic, firefighter community. We're thinking about you and we love you. And thank you for everything you do every day and all the sacrifices you make to keep us safe and to save lives.
Well, it's kind of hard to segue from that because that's just like very sad. But I have the Am I the Asshole this week. And ironically, it actually is a domestic situation.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I should.
We did not plan that.
No, I just realized. I mean, it's okay. I don't even know if that was the right segue, but either way, I'm just trying to transition somehow.
I feel like you can never transition from things like that. Like, it's rough, but to lift your spirits up a little bit now that we crushed your hearts.
Yes, let's talk about if this guy is the asshole or not. Am I the asshole for kicking my wife out after she punched my mom in the face?
Yikes.
My situation went from bad to worse in a matter of a week, and I don't know where else to turn. I need to know if I was wrong. Possibly a validation thing because life is fucking dumb right now. My wife and I have been together for 8 years, and she just gave birth to our first and last baby 2 months ago. Up until my wife got pregnant, my mom loved her. I'm not sure what the fuck is wrong with my mom or why the switch happened, but after my wife got pregnant, my mom started being very clingy to me and started avoiding my wife at all costs. Told everyone she wasn't excited about the pregnancy, etc. I threatened to go no contact with her when my wife was about 7 months along, and after that, she snapped out of it for the most part and stopped being so ignorant. The comments 100% stopped, at least, though she was still clinging to me. Now, a week ago, my mom, my sister and sister's husband, and my sister's daughter, 12, came over for dinner. I prepared the meal. Before my wife could eat anything, our daughter got fussy, so my wife excused herself to go feed the baby and get her down to sleep. I thought I prepared enough, but apparently not, because my niece was still starving. She's 5'5" and 190 pounds. Oh, I don't know if that was necessary to say. Okay. I haven't seen her in a year, and she was not that size then, so I didn't. Oh my gosh.
I don't think we need to comment on body sizes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're kind of an asshole.
Yes, I could barely read this. She was not that size then, so I didn't exactly portion in an extra 3 helpings for a child, so that's on me. Okay. Asshole. Oh my gosh. That's not even the asshole part. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I apologized and told her that I hadn't made any more and offered her crackers as I was putting my wife's portion in the fridge. After that, I just went outside with my sister's husband to smoke a cigarette and shoot the breeze. Didn't think anything of it, but then I hear yelling from inside. When I walk in, my wife and my mom were screaming at each other. Apparently my mom, who saw me put my wife's food away, gave my niece my wife's portion of food. As I was walking inside, I heard my mom say, "Looks like you can afford to skip a meal," and slapped my wife's stomach. Oh my gosh. Right as soon as I was getting ready to step in, literally fast walking toward them yelling, "Enough," my wife winds back and punches my mother square in the face and drops her. The whole house went silent outside of my mom crying and holding her face. I tell everyone to get the fuck out. Immediately everyone leaves and my wife just turned toward the counter, leans with her hands on the counter and face down, eyes closed. I look at my wife and say, "You too, leave now." She says, "Really?" She's crying at this point. I say a clipped, "Yep." She packs up her and the baby and leaves. I text her that night and say, "I just need space. I need to decompress and come to terms with what just happened." She doesn't respond. The next 5 days, I'm texting and calling and I get nothing. She shows up here today, so 8 days later, and hands me divorce papers on my baby and says, "Here, you have a bit to hang out with her while I pack." Where I'm breastfeeding, we can work out a visit. How does this work?
I'm breastfeeding.
Where I'm breastfeeding, we can work out a visitation schedule.
Oh my gosh, people.
Wild.
Proofread your shit.
Sorry, I'll take a second.
Anyways.
While I'm breastfeeding, we can work out a visitation schedule that's either at your place or my mother's until she'll take a bottle. I told her that's not what I want. I don't want to separate. I just needed time to process her punching my mother in the face. She says, you needing time to process gave me time to process the fact that I refuse to be in this situation any longer. I defended myself. I initially felt bad and remorseful, but you making me leave when I needed you made me see more clear. I'm done. I'm sorry for what I did, but there's no fixing this. She refused to speak to me at all the rest of the time she was here. My house feels so empty. I don't know what to do. Am I the asshole for making her leave after she punched my mom? I just needed some fucking space.
Gosh, yes. This is wild. I went on a ride.
Can you, okay, first of all, the mom slapping your postpartum belly probably could hurt still. I mean, you just probably have a dinner plate size wound in your uterus that she just smacked your belly and says you don't need to eat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first, I don't think that she should have punched her in the face. That's a little.
I agree. That's over.
A little overreaction, but like I don't think the mom should have said anything or slapped her belly. Like,
have you heard of postpartum rage? I mean,
yeah,
that was
definitely probably postpartum rage. Mm-hmm. But like that mom, so weird. And like honestly, I'm kind of proud of her for being like, okay, bye. Because I feel like a situation with that kind of toxic mother-in-law, like the chances of you coming to a place where you can like be a good family is very slim. Not saying that it couldn't happen, but I feel like the chances of it happening is very low. And for her to be like, okay, I just need to like get out of the situation. I'm like, yeah, girl, you do you. But
it's disturbing that she just, and I don't think it's a good sign that she just turned like that when she got pregnant. Like that, it's not like they always had a kind of a weird relationship. They were together for 8 years. So she probably saw the writing on the wall and was like, no.
Yeah. So I'm proud of the wife getting out, and like that mom needs to go to therapy.
Do you want to hear the edits?
Oh, there's edits?
There's 2 edits.
Oh, yeah.
For the record, I'm team wife. My mom deserved it wholeheartedly, and I blocked her completely from my life. I literally just needed time to process what happened. My wife is a lot of things. Violent is not one of them. So this came completely out of left field and would not have happened without her being provoked. After it all happened, my mom sent me a text saying, see, I told you she was crazy. That fat bitch doesn't belong in our life.
Oh my gosh.
I'm willing to bet she purposely tried setting my wife off. So no, I'm on my wife's side 100%. I truly just needed to process what happened, and my wife took it as me giving up on her, not defending her and throwing her and our baby out, which did essentially happen because I knew she had to take the baby with her when I kicked her out.
I think you could have been like, okay, I need to go to a different level of like, why are you kicking your postpartum wife out?
Yeah. If anything, just go hang out in the basement for a day.
Yeah, just go to a different level of the house.
There's no reason to be like, you're done. Get out of this home. And then 2 days later, like, okay, I'm good. Like, to physically make your newborn baby and postpartum wife leave is so extreme. Weird. The other edit says, the reason why my dad was super abusive. Okay. The reason why my dad was stupid abusive. I was beat. My sisters and brother were beat. My mom was put in the hospital multiple times. It took years for police to enforce restraining orders, and he finally died in 2013. Violence scares the fuck out of me. I clam up and get anxious around violence of any kind now. My wife knows this, and she grew up too with a violent dad, and she gets just as anxious and panicky around violence. Her punching my mom in the face triggered an anxious response, and I needed her gone in that moment. I needed it far away from me. I don't know why I didn't just leave. I could have, but in that moment, I let my emotions and fear run the whole fucking circus and told everyone to get out, her included. My mom did slap her first, I guess. For some reason, I was seeing my wife's punch as being far worse than the slap. It wasn't a hard slap, but my wife did kind of wince looking back on it now. She was fine following, but my mom was bleeding, split her eyebrow open. Thanks for the responses. I'm the asshole. I'm going to try to kiss ass now. Okay, so that does kind of make you... He obviously had like a trauma response to it.
For sure. But like...
You got to work on your triggers. Other people aren't responsible for your triggers.
Exactly. I definitely think you could have just left. I feel like you could have been like, I need a minute.
I need to remove myself from the situation.
I'm going to go take a drive. Like, I will be back. I just need a minute. And I feel like she would have understood from like your trauma. But I don't know. I feel like you should have went to therapy. I think everybody just needs to go to therapy.
Yeah, if you have a child, you need to work on your own triggers. And also,
Yeah.
you should also be able to like kind of compartmentalize your
Mhm.
wife having acted over the top, I will say. But like, that wasn't the same as just beating somebody up for the sake of hurting somebody. Like, it was reactive, which I'm not like condoning what she did, because I can't imagine ever punching somebody in the face. But
no,
I don't know. He's got to work on his shit for sure if he's going to be a dad or a husband, because like I said, other people are not responsible for your triggers.
No.
You need to do like some internal work.
You're responsible for your own emotions.
You are. You're a grown ass man, sir. Anyway.
Oh, that was wild.
Wasn't it?
I can't wait to see my facial expressions.
All right. Do you want to introduce what we're talking about this week?
Episode 16 is brought to you by Parenting Hacks. So I feel like after almost 3 years of being a mom, wow, that's weird to say. I have some parenting hacks. We have a lot of moms that we reached out to that have hella parenting hacks. You have 7 years of experience of parenting hacks. So we just wanted to compile a whole episode for you to just tell you all of our wisdom. Take what you want, leave what you want. We don't care. We just are trying to be helpful.
We're trying to make your lives easier.
Easy breezy, beautiful motherhood.
Gather all the tidbits, helpful hints from all the moms we know and transfer them to you. That's
our biggest goal today. I have some mom hacks, and then I also have some like life hacks that made momming easier, because when you do those things, it just makes life more seamless. So do you want to jump in? Do you want me to jump in?
I don't care. So I guess I can start. So one thing that my mom said that I do actually too, and so it's kind of fun to see somebody else say that. She said she writes down or sets 3 goals for the day. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I reached out to my mom. She said she sets 3 goals for the day. And that way, I'm going to actually read exactly what she said. I wanted to read their responses because they all were very good. Okay, make goals or lists about the 3 most important things you want to accomplish that day. Even if you do only 2, you feel you succeeded in accomplishing what you wanted. One thing I often do, I love writing lists, but sometimes I'll put stuff I've already done that day on the list so that
cross it out.
Because sometimes you don't get to everything, but you have to remember that you did do a lot still. So that was really cool. She also had a good tip about giving your kids each one consistent chore that they do all the time. Because it's easier for them to remember one that they're always responsible for than several. And I thought that was very smart. She said, try to do more of the chores that take more energy in the morning instead of waiting till the afternoon, which I'm the opposite. Go by when your energy is like peak. For me, afternoon time is when I'm like, let's get it.
Yeah, me too.
But if it's morning, if it's after the kids go to bed and you get that energy burst,
whenever,
do something today that tomorrow you will thank you for.
Yeah. And I feel like just trust yourself that you will get that energy burst. It might not be today too. Like, it's fine to have a lazy day too, but like trust that like you will get that burst of energy and you will like clean the house and like life will be fine and good and dandy.
And it's
okay.
a cycle. Remembering that our work as parents in the home is cyclical. It never ends. And it actually saw Mel Robbins say this on her podcast, that somebody was a guest on her show. I wish I could remember who that was. I'll have to look that up. But she was saying how I told my kids, I promised them they'd have clean clothes, not that all their clothes would be clean at the same time. Like you will always
I love that.
have access to clean clothes, but that doesn't mean the laundry it will ever be fully done. She also said use those cheap white paper plates for a couple of meals throughout the week, because even though you have more garbage, it's easier to clean up and it just gives you a break from the never-ending dishes. And okay, so my mom still has 6 kids at home. So there's 8 in the house. And that's a whole story for a different time. So, but this is for like, that's a really good tip for people with big families, especially, which seems wasteful, but at least like paper isn't like styrofoam. Try to stay away from styrofoam. That's the worst for the environment.
Yeah, I think giving yourself a break every once in a while isn't a bad thing.
No. At the cabin, we always use the paper plates and just throw them in the fire pit.
Or you could do that one thing where you just throw a tablecloth down and you throw everything on the tablecloth and then you just eat off the tablecloth. I've always wanted to do that.
Oh, yeah. Like a nacho bar and everything's
Yeah.
that'd be fun. Should do that. Except I never know, like, how are you keeping everything warm?
You throw everything together at the last, like, you sit everybody down and then while everybody's sitting, you just throw everything on the table and then you just give them a fork.
And dig in.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Toy rotation was one I got for a couple recommendations from people.
I feel like toy rotation sounds good to begin with. Like, you're like, yes, I'm going to do a toy rotation. I have one child. I've done it twice in 3 years. Like, I just feel like I end up just throwing away toys, or like not throwing away, but like giving, like
donating,
packing up a box and just shipping them out because like, I'm like, I don't want this in my life. I don't want to bring this back out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know.
No, I agree. I've definitely am more leaning towards that. Like when I'm clearing stuff out that they haven't played with, I just donate it. But then you run into the fact they see it again somewhere else. They're like, oh, I love that toy. What happened to that toy? That's happened to me many, many times.
Oops.
So I do like the idea of having, like 2 or 3 toy bins of stuff that they have played with, but they stopped playing with, and just throw it in the garage or in a storage room. And then, it helps with the clutter and makes things feel new. Mm-hmm. So I like the idea of it. I should implement it.
Sometimes you just can't, and that's okay.
Or like the math ain't mathin'.
Yeah. Anyways, intermission. Because kids,
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. They know. We all know. That's why we're here.
I'll know.
Okay, where's my pen? Can I have that pen?
Yeah.
I'm just going to cross out the ones I already read because I'm kind of hopping around because there's some that just make sense to like go in order.
I'm going to say one because you're hogging the show. No, just kidding.
Sorry.
She has way more because I thought the assignment was we were just telling our own hacks, but
I didn't have any hacks, so I had to outsource.
No, you do.
No, I was like panicking. This was her topic idea. And I was like, I don't have any hacks. I'm just winging it every day.
A big hack for me is a timer. So a long time ago, I bought like a visual timer for Kian. We both have it. And it works. So like I even use it this morning because lately he's been hating going to daycare. But I'm like, dude, we pay for daycare. You need to go to daycare. I need this time for me. And so one of the hacks is like, we have a visual timer. I'm like, okay, we're going to go to daycare in 10 minutes. And I set it. And then he knows when he hears that beep that we are going to transition. And he's like 100% okay with it. He turned off the TV. He got his shoes on. We left without like a tantrum. Same with like bedtime. He'll like even go and set it and make it go off. And he'll be like, time for bed. I'm like, okay.
You're like, hey, good night.
Bye. So timers do work. Try it out, see ya, and then like also get them involved, like have them set the timer or like have them push start on your phone. I feel like that helps a lot too when I'm like, oh, do you want to set the timer? And they're like, yeah, because I feel like the more control you give them, the better things happen. Kian is so funny. Like I let him choose his outfit today and I just give him 2 choices and he always goes like, for so long, he just sits there and thinks about it and he just looks back and forth.
It's a big decision.
It takes him like a minute, like an actual minute. And he'll be like, no, that one. And then I'm like, you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. That took a very long time.
That's so cute though. It's a big deal.
How's
he going to present himself at daycare?
He chose trucks today.
Well, dress for the job you want.
Blue trucks. He did. Shout out to my cousin Abby. She got these shoes, I think for his first birthday, but they were ginormous. But these like Disney shoes, he just discovered them. They were like on our shoe rack. She got these shoes for him for his birthday and he just discovered them and he loved them. He slept in them last night.
Oh, that's got to be so uncomfortable.
I know, but he loved them. So he wore them to daycare today.
Nice.
Anyways, tangent. Do you have more?
I do have more. Do you have more?
Yeah.
One thing is making things into a race.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my friends suggested that. She said they don't want to get their shoes on or don't want to brush their teeth. I mean, I do this with my kids too. They don't want to go to bed. Second, you're like, I'll race you. All of a sudden they're like, yes, it's on, and then their whole attitude changes. Kids are so playful. If you just like turn something into a game, it's hard for our adult brain sometimes because you're just like, oh, I gotta get this. I gotta do this, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
It's just so much
But
easier
the
if you
more
turn it
that
to a
you
game.
are like frustrated, the more they just drag their feet.
They
And you're
do.
just like, what? If you would just do it, we would be done already.
I
But like the
know.
more you get like flustered, and the more they're like,
I'm walking backwards
I'm
now.
going slower.
I can crawl.
I saw
on my-
this TikTok where this lady, she's like, I pretend like my kid is magic. So she'll be like, do you think if I close my eyes and I say the magical words that you will magically be dressed? So she'll just be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, alakazam, wham, bam. And then like their kids just like do it because
That's
they
so
think
cute.
that they are magical.
Naya
I was
always
like-
says that. She always thinks she's magic.
So I think that would be a fun one to try out, to be like, you're magic.
Mhm. I love that. Okay, I love this idea from Marissa, who was on last week's episode.
Shout out.
Shout out to Marissa. This was such a good idea. Actually, half of these ideas are from Marissa because she's an amazing mom and
Yeah.
she is very organized and has lots of good ideas. So, pre-portioned snack bins for each kid for the week, which I think is
Oh, for
really
the
cool.
week.
So then they don't go crazy with snacks. Like these are the
Mhm.
snacks you're allowed, and these are like the healthy snacks that you get, and so they don't like go crazy snacking.
Yeah. I feel like that's also nice because then they're not just like, Mama wants snack, Mama wants snack, Mama. You
Mhm.
can be like, go to your snack bin. And if
Well-
you run out, that's on you.
Yeah, literally, we tried the snack drawer. Oh my gosh, those kids demolished that drawer.
First day.
Yes, like they don't know self-control. I mean, they're kids. Of course they don't, but like I thought that was a really good like visual. Here's your snacks for the week. You know, it looks like I should post the picture that she has on here. I will post the picture, but she had like a little bin and they have like applesauce pouches, like little granola
Cute.
bars, puffs, and cashews, just like healthy snacks, which I loved that. One was cleaning while the kids are awake and having them assist you. It demonstrates that keeping a house clean is work, shows them how to clean properly, and gets them
Yeah.
involved in housework. Says her daughter Lulu loves using a spray bottle to clean the stainless steel stuff and kitchen table. I also have her use a smaller vacuum, and she has her own duster. The only room I don't let her help with is the bathroom. When I clean the master bathroom, I just have her take a bath and clean everything beside the tub. Then I clean the tub when she dries off. I just started doing this a few weeks back, and now I can actually have some time to myself at nap, which I am a huge proponent of cleaning the bathroom when the kids are in the bathtub.
Yeah.
It's like a hack, as long as you're not using like too strong of chemicals.
Yeah. Like if you're using like thieves or something.
Yeah, you're like, all right, we're going to get some Lysol and bleach up in this bitch.
Scrubbing bubbles.
We're all going to leave in a better mood. I think that was...
Yeah,
that
just
was-
like wiping like the weird hairs that show up on the bathroom or like on the tub edge.
Mhm.
Like where did they come from and who did they come from?
No one wants to know that.
I don't understand. Like just like wiping that off or like wiping underneath all of your soap bottles.
Do
Or
you-
just sitting there?
Does anybody else agree that anytime you wash the sink, it's like a sign for your husband to shave his whole face?
Yes.
Because I'm like, oh, did that nice clean sink just like call to you? Like cover me in
I
facial hair?
didn't realize how frustrating facial hair would be when I signed up for this husband thing. Honestly, could not be worse. I don't know.
It can be
It's-
worse. You could have my job and then have all types of people's hair all over.
Ew.
I do hair in my house. I have a salon in my house.
She just goes in public and rips people's hair out and just
Sprinkle
sprinkles
it
it
around.
around the house
just because that makes me feel connected to those
to
people.
the world.
Marissa also suggested having a menu for the month.
Oh.
So they waste a lot less food, spend less money, and then it takes the pressure of figuring out what you have to make every night, which everybody hates that.
Yes.
It's the worst.
I will amplify freezer meals again because it's a 10 out of 10 idea. But yeah, it's the worst. Like the question, what are we going to eat tonight?
It just makes my skin crawl. Nothing. You will eat cereal.
It's like no one tells you how many times you're going to sit down and get up as a parent. It's like literally the one thing I wasn't prepared for of how many times you're just going to sit down and get up and sit down and get up.
I'll tell you my
billion.
hack for that. Never sit down. That's what I do. I'm not kidding. I wish I could say I was kidding.
No,
My legs give out at 8
Tell
p.m.
people your average step count
Oh,
in a day. Isn't it like 14,000?
no, 12.
Oh, no.
Heavens,
Just
no.
12,000.
Yeah.
Not 14. 12. And that's like not working out. That's just like a regular day.
Yeah, that's not if I do my workout. But
What the fuck? Okay.
yeah,
anyways.
that's just, this is how I do it. This is how I
Do it.
One of my hacks is if you're going to a place that's not the usual sleep area, if your kids are over 4, a night gummy, melatonin. I'm not proud of this, but for like a year, we were giving them melatonin, a 0.5 milligram. So it was not that much, but we have gotten off of that. It was like survival mode there for a while. My pediatrician said it was totally fine. I just didn't really love it. But anyway, the point of that is if you're going on like an airplane, if you're going to be at a hotel, if you're going to be somewhere that's not the normal and sleep is just difficult, like bedtime routine is really difficult. I don't know if is this controversial. I don't know. I think a lot of people
This
do it.
is a little controversial, but like I feel like we're not doctors. Talk to your pediatrician.
Mhm. I just know what my pediatrician
Your
said.
pediatrician said it's fine. So like it's not like you didn't check with the doctor first.
And it's like the lowest dose. And it's really nice, like when we're at the cabin and they're like restless, or at grandma and grandpa's house and they're super hyped up and they've been given tons of sugar. And it's just, I feel like it's a nice backup plan. So I don't know, judge me if you want, but I'm a real mom and that's just my real mom hack. Juice boxes have handles. That's another hack that
What?
Marissa sent me. If you lift the flap, she sent me a picture too, so I will post that on the Instagram. If you lift the flaps on either side, it makes like a flat top and they can hold on the edges and they won't squeeze it.
I'm
Flabbergasted?
do you have a juice box here?
No, I don't.
I might buy some at Target and take a picture of it.
I can send you the picture Marissa
Yeah.
sent me. But you just like peel the little corners up on the top and it makes it flat with 2 little hand holders and they can just sip on the straw.
That's the problem because they always like manhandle it. They're like, squeeze the life out of it.
Then she also said cupcake liners under popsicles so they're not dripping everywhere. Just pop it on and either indoor and outdoor. It's that I think is a great hack because kids hate having sticky hands.
Do they?
I feel like they do.
My
maybe
son
not,
does. He
maybe
hates
not
it.
all. I don't. Also, parents don't like sticky hands because then you're like grabbing onto like sandy stuff. Their hands just like are then little like dirt magnets.
Mm.
So even, I don't know. I thought that was kind of a nice tip.
Just a tip.
Just the tip of the day.
That's a good one. My son, when his hands are dirty, he just like literally he ate a cookie 2 days ago and it was full of chocolate and he had just like he was sitting on the couch and he just held his hands up and he was just waving them around and then he was like finally he was like, Mom, I need a napkin.
Oh my gosh. Even my 7-year-old, she does not like her hands being dirty. And she was doing this thing. We went to Arby's Friday night and I was like, what are you doing? You're 7 years old. She got like sauce on her hands and she just started flinging her hands. I'm like, okay, now it's on me and the table. And
now it's on everyone.
Like, oh my gosh, this sauce is so cheesy. Like, stop. Just use a napkin.
He's like, I need to get it off of me immediately.
I guess. I mean, I assumed at that age you wouldn't just instinctively fling cheese off your fingers.
The intrusive thought one.
Apparently. We were talking earlier about like bribing our kids. I changed my thought around that and I changed it to incentives, providing incentives because who doesn't like incentives? Why do we treat kids different than adults in the way that you don't treat them as regular people?
Yeah.
Like, of course, you like to be rewarded for things that you go above and beyond for.
Yeah.
I don't consider it bribery. I think people just like to have something to work for.
Yeah. And I think that teaches them in the real world that if you work hard, you can get things out of it. And that's just adulting. That's just life.
Exactly. So I am about that.
I'm about it too.
Do you have more mom hacks or more just life hacks that make your life easier?
So becoming a mom, like obviously you want to do your best. I think always trying to like put yourself in their shoes and realizing that their world is small and that they don't have the perspective you do. Because I feel like once you hit like 23, you realize the world's a big place. Not every moment in your life is going to be like death or living. I feel like in high school, especially, I think we've been talking about teenagers a lot. Your world is just so small. Things just seem so big because like that's all you know.
Everything's
and like
about you still. Like it affects you. If it affects you so much, you don't have like that broader perspective.
Yeah. And I think just remembering how that felt to like have your entire world explode because you wanted the pink cup and your mom gave you the blue cup, and just like trying to sympathize with them instead of being like, oh my gosh, like you're so dramatic. Like
this isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like making their problems that feel
smaller.
Yeah. Even though to them, it's as equal to a problem that would be a big deal for us.
Like looking at how a guy like the one, I feel like this is going around TikTok, like looking at how small their hands are and just remembering how small they are, how small their world is, just like bringing back things into perspective for you too, as a parent, to like really come out with love in that moment where you just want to be like, oh my gosh. Remembering that how you react in this moment will set them up for life.
Yeah,
which
because
is
your mom's
crazy.
voice or your primary caregiver's voice apparently is what forms your own inner voice as an adult. I just want to make sure that I am a positive voice that they hear when it's so hard to like think about that we're going to be our kids' inner voice, because the inner voice that is in your head is not you. Like there's ways to like separate it. Like when you really think about like thinking about controlling a thought, and then you think that thought and you realize that's not your own voice saying that. So that's a whole other thing, but your inner voice isn't always true, or that's not always like telling you factual information.
Well, like I feel like separating that, like some people call their inner voice a different name. Like, shut up, Fred. But piggybacking off of that, I think another thing that I love that I want to implement is kids are clumsy. I feel like they make mistakes, they spill things, they break things, like whatever. You do too. And like this one mom was like, my mom would always be like, I love you more than that mug. And then she would like go and help clean them up. And I think I love that. Like saying like, I love you more than whatever happened. Constantly hearing that and being like, I love you more than like the carpet. We'll figure, like, it's fine. Like life will go on. We'll clean it up.
That gave me goosebumps.
I know. So like, I really want to start implementing that. Like if he spills or something, I'd be like, I love you more than the floor.
One thing about the spills actually that I heard recently that I've been trying to do, because I hate spills because it always seems like it happens right after I wash the floors, and it really bothers me. It's like but I try not to get upset. Usually it's like if it happens like 3 times in a day, I'm like, oh my God, I freak out a little bit. But anyway, the video said that their mom always would be like, well, I guess that's going to be a clean spot on the floor. I love that because, I mean, as much as I try to wash my floors twice a week, it's still, they're always grubby, always dirty. And because I have 3, kids, animals, blah, blah, blah. But so I just think that's such a good perspective. Well, that spot's going to be clean.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cleaner than the rest of the spots.
One thing about like cleaning, 2 things that really resonate with me. One is like the dishwasher. Always run the dishwasher before bed, even if it's not full.
Life hack, dishwasher timer. Put it on when you're loading dishes. Put on the timer. That way, like if you're like, oh, this dishwasher can have more dishes. If you walk away and forget to start it,
there you go.
It will always start because the timer's on, and then you'll never wake up in the morning and be like, fuck.
I know. And we've all been there.
Yes.
I've never thought about using the timer. That's a very good idea.
That's a Jordan hack. So shout out to my husband because he was like, our dishwasher has a timer. We're idiots.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that. But I do think like, even if it's not full, run it before bed so that you wake up to clean dishes, because honestly, those gross, dirty, not that they're filthy when you put them in the dishwasher, but they're still like smelly. You don't want those like sitting overnight and longer just because it's not totally full. It also takes less water to run the dishwasher than it does to wash dishes by hand.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
Think about that.
And then one other thing that I love to think about, if it takes you less than 1 minute, do it immediately.
Yeah.
If you look at this like scrap of paper that's on the staircase and you've passed it, just grab it, throw it in the recycling. Like if you that's another thing. If you're already going somewhere, grab like the random stuff. How do I say this? I'm trying to remember exactly. Hold on, just cut this whole part out. But if you're going to your bedroom already, do a quick inventory around the room and grab the things that belong in that room as you're making that trip. If you're going to the basement, same thing. Just try to reduce the trips. If you're already going there, just try to be more intentional so you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off all day. Because me and Lindsey both probably have ADHD. And
I'll let you know after Thursday. I have an appointment.
I am thinking about getting evaluated as well. But I think I use it in my favor because it really does make me super, what's the word?
Hyper-focused.
What's the fucking...
Can you describe it instead of just yelling at me?
When you get a lot done. Productive.
Okay.
It makes me very productive. Even though I don't think I streamline my productivity in a great way, I do feel like I get a lot done every single day. But like, I definitely get sidetracked. So trying to streamline your activity, like, I'm going to the basement. Let's grab these toys that belong in the playroom.
Yeah. Try
to be more efficient in your days. But that's all I have. So you take it away.
Well, I want to round it back to the dishwasher.
As a bane of all of our existence is dishes.
One thing I did do that, I forget her name. She's like a psychologist on TikTok that has kids, and she always like talks about how life is a cycle. I'll try to think of her and link her down below. But she showed me this trick a long time ago, and we've had it in our house for years now, and I love it. But we bought like a second dishwasher silverware rack. And then I also bought like a drying rack, but it's on the dirty dishes side. So we stack our dirty dishes on the drying rack. So like the dishes stay out of the sink. So you can always use the sink. And then we put our silverware away right away. I will put a picture on our Instagram of my setup, but we put the dirty silverware on what's like on the counter. And then when you're unloading, you just like switch it. So you don't have to put your silverware away because it's already put away when you like put your dishes on the counter.
So are they clean silverware?
No, like they're dirty. So you have a dirty silverware holder and then the clean one that's in the dishwasher.
So you do put away those ones.
Yeah. So like I'll take those ones out and then I'll put the dirty ones in. But like it takes away a step of like having to touch all these dirty silverware because you've already like you personally put it in the dirty one on top. And then it's just like one step less when you put dirty dishes in the dishwasher. I don't know if any of that made sense. I will post a picture on our Instagram of what I meant, but I love it. And I love
link that lady's video too.
Yeah. We'll see if we can find it. It happened. Like I've watched it so long ago. Also like having a drying rack on the dirty side. It was a game changer because it keeps things out of the sink.
That is a tricky thing to balance. I think if we can figure out laundry hacks and dish hacks, I always say if we didn't need to wear clothes and we didn't need to eat, life would be so much simple. So we just need all the hacks. And also like if you guys have any hacks.
I always try to do at least one load of laundry a day. And then like on my day off, like today's my day off, I will take that day to like fold and put away. I try to fold each load as I come out. But I will take this day to like catch up on laundry and like whatever's clean, I'll just like put away. So like just I feel like having a dedicated day to tackle the mountain of laundry is nice.
Jesse is just so good at putting away laundry. I do not know what his trick is. And I hate putting away laundry. I'll wash it. Actually, I hate transferring wash to dryer also. I just don't like laundry. And he knows that's my least favorite chore. So he does kind of pick up the slack on that. Like I'll wash it all day long. And he'll be like, wow, every time I come home, there's the same laundry in the wash. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's because I'm doing laundry all the time. Like I can't just transfer it all the time. But I know, I admit I'm lazy with that. But we have like 5 people there. It's just so much laundry. And then my kids throw clean clothes on the floor. They throw out stuff out of their dressers all the time because they always want to dress themselves and pick their own clothes. Anyway, the point of this is I can get my kids in bed and just do bedtime. And in that time, Jesse will have miraculously put away 5 loads of laundry. I don't understand.
Maybe we need to ask him.
I've asked him, but I don't understand the logistics.
Me either. But another hack is like fold and put away laundry while you listen to your favorite podcast, watch your favorite shows, like save your shows for putting away laundry. Cause then that way it's like a little treat to yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to watch Love is Blind while I put away laundry.
I also, when I sort laundry, I have 3 bins, one for each of my kids, and then a Jessie pile and a Brittany pile. So I just throw the kids' clothes, divide it up, in their hampers, and then they put their own clothes away. So I bring it into their room and I tell them, you need to sort this. I make them do an underwear pile, pajamas, shirts, pants. So they're practicing sorting and they're helping with the chores.
Yeah, that's a good hack.
And I also never fold laundry. I'm not kidding you.
I think the less you fold, the better. I hang up laundry. I feel like that's nice. But like, I literally only fold my pants.
Same. We fold the pants and none of the kids' stuff because especially Rhea, we're working on this, but she like empties her whole dresser every day. And I'm just like, just pick one
Have
thing.
you ever like considered getting like an open closet, like where it has like 3 bins on the bottom and everything's hanging? So like she can see everything and that way she doesn't like grab it out.
Well, she has a lot of stuff hanging. She just doesn't even go into that area.
Like I'm talking like a little like mini fridge sized hanging closet that you leave outside of the closet. Like it's a closet.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I've never considered it.
I'll
but
show
I
a
would.
picture, but I want to get one for Kian so I can start putting, because so ever since he was little, we've always had a clothes bin underneath our coffee table, and we got a new coffee table and it like has like a secret compartment and all of his clothes are in it because we get him dressed downstairs.
Nice.
And I'm like, it's so stupid to go upstairs.
There's another hack.
I'm like, that's another hack too. Like find systems in your house that work for you. Like if you constantly throw your laundry in that corner, instead of trying to switch up throwing your laundry in a different corner in like a different hamper, just put a hamper there. Like literally we throw our clothes right outside of our bathroom. I just put a hamper there.
We just did that next to the toilet because, our master bathroom is like very long, like a rectangle. And at the end of the rectangle is our big soaking tub. And to the left is our shower and toilet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So next to the toilet is like on the floor. I take baths a lot is where my clothes end up. Jesse always thinks he's making it less messy by throwing his on the counter. It's not. It's just like not on the floor. So anyway, we put a hamper there and slowly it's getting better. Sometimes we still.
Yeah. So I think like also catering like your normal habits to a solution and finding systems that work in your house that makes sense.
Same with like diapers and
your
wipes.
Home. Yeah.
Having like a secret bin in the living room so you're not always running up to their room where the diaper changing station
why
is.
Do you have to have your laundry basket in the laundry room? Like no one made that rule except for you, and you can switch up that rule.
I want to
make it work for you.
My dream would be to redo our upstairs walk-in closet and put our washer and dryer in there. Yeah. So that it wasn't in our mudroom, because I freaking hate having my laundry where we walk in and out of the garage. It's just like, why would you do that?
I hate how Americans set up their house. Like I feel like in every other country, their washer and dryer's in their bedroom. And I'm like, why?
Let's move out of this country.
It'll cost us $5,000.
$5,000 well spent.
Yeah.
Just because of the laundry room.
Why did you move to Europe? Because my laundry room's in my bedroom.
That's it. There's no other reason.
Literally no other reason. I spent $5,000 to move my entire family to Europe to have my
because of laundry.
Room
that's how
in my bedroom. Yeah, those are some of your our life hacks. If you have any life hacks, leave them. I don't know. Can you comment on podcasts? I don't know. Leave them on our Instagram page.
They could under a comment.
Join our Facebook group. We'll have a post in there. You can post your life hacks so all the moms get all the life hacks so we can build each other up and just kill this mom shit.
Can you grab your phone?
Kill this mom shit, yeah.
And can you read the review because Rhea took my phone?
Oh, yeah. Should we read our review first?
I think we should.
Is it on Apple Podcast?
Yeah, let's do it at the end.
Let's do it at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so mom moments. Do you want to say yours first? Since you're trying to remember it.
One of my mom moments was, I don't even know if I want to say this one, but whatever. We were outside and we got a bunch of snow last week and I was shoveling the driveway because I wanted the exercise, I guess. I've never done it before and I just felt like it. I thought it'd be super nice if I surprised Jesse and have it done. So I am shoveling and Naya and Judah are like, they wanted to build a snowman, but there was no like sticky snow. So they were just grabbing like ice chunks, like tons of like ice balls and like ice chunks and like stacking them up. And they're like, Mom, we're going to do a sculpture of you naked. I was like,
What
did you just say? Like, I was like, guys, that's really inappropriate. And they're like, fine, we'll just do a princess. Why?
What?
It's so weird. I'm like, you guys, that's so weird. They would be artistic, though.
If they were like, yeah, like just statues. I feel like statues in general are always naked. So like they were like, we love our mom. Let's do a statue of her. And obviously, since there's a statue, you have to be naked. That like that train of thought makes sense.
It does. But I was like, guys, that's not appropriate. And they're like, fine, we'll do princess. It was just so like funny. 1 second. Here's the backup plan.
Plan B.
And then kind of along those same lines, I was cutting Judah's hair.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I wanted to tell you so bad the other day. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. So I'm in my salon in my house and I'm cutting my son's hair for his birthday. He says to me, Mom, where'd you get those big jugs? I was like, I froze. I was like,
my boobs.
What? Edina? Just kidding. No, I said, what? And then I look at what he's looking at. I have 2 big glass jugs in my salon that I have at my salon for our sister-in-law for their wedding.
That's
and somebody dropped them off on Marketplace. So there's these big glass, like 5-gallon jugs. And he's just, as I'm leaning over him, cutting his hair, where'd you get those big jugs? It's like, why would he know what
jugs mean? Oh my gosh.
So
you legit had 2 big jugs.
I know. It was so funny. And I don't know. It just goes to show that kids are honestly more innocent than we are, of course. And like, they don't always mean things, either of those things that I just said for my mom moments, like in a weird way. But our minds kind of just like automatically go there. So you kind of have to take a step back and be like, what do they mean by this?
You're like, can you explain your train of thought to me?
Exactly.
And you're like, oh yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't have to get into
out. So glad we didn't have to get in the conversation of how boobs are not jugs.
I know, right? That's disrespectful. What about you? Do you have mom moments from this week?
So last week it was all daycare related, I guess. We were leaving daycare and the moon was out and he's like, oh, the moon. And he freaks out every time he sees it. I was like, yeah. And then there was an airplane flying towards the moon. And he was like, what did he say? He's like, oh no, the airplane's gonna hit the moon. And I was like, no, it's not, honey. Like the moon's way far away. And he was like, oh, the moon got away. Cause like the airplane went, obviously the airplane didn't hit the moon. It went past the moon. And he was just so relieved that the moon got away.
Like, oh, thank God.
He was so relieved. And then last Thursday, I was working, but I ended up taking Keen to daycare because he was just in such a mood. He, like, literally, we were so far ahead. I had woken up so early. That was the day that it snowed. I had woken up at 5:40 because he woke up at 5:40. I got him downstairs. We were eating breakfast. Everything was chill. I was like, fine, I'm going to go shovel. So I went and shoveled our entire driveway and house, got inside, made breakfast, got ready, and like was ready to go to work like a half an hour earlier than usual. And like we were killing it and we were going out the door and I was like, yeah, we're all going to be on time. And I was like, yeah, I can take Keen to daycare. Like, no problem. And then all of a sudden we were like 15 minutes late and I was like, what the fuck happened? But like he switched which shoes he wanted to wear 3 times. He like wouldn't get out the door. He was like going extra slow. And like, obviously we were like, come on, dude, like, let's get ready. And he was just like going slower. And we were like, oh my gosh.
So frustrating.
And he was so sad. I like forced him in the car seat because I was like, dude, we have to go. And then Jordan was switched back. He was going to take him. And then he just like was so sad that his dad was going to take him. I hugged him and he just like collapsed in my arms. And like the scenery was so beautiful though, because it snowed. And I just like, I feel like this is going to be a core memory for me. I was just like hugging him because he was so sad that I wasn't taking him to daycare. And he was like, Mommy, I want you. And it was just so beautiful outside.
Aw.
And I was like, fine, I'll take you, like, but you have to get in the car right now. So like I tried to make it a race. And then he was like, no, I want to play in the snow. And I was like, dude, we gotta go. So finally we get in the car. He's crying the entire way there. And I was like, okay, fine. We like walk in. He's fine walking in. And he gets halfway down the hallway and he's like, wait, I need a hug and a kiss.
Aw.
And he like ran back to me and gave me a hug and a kiss. I was 15 minutes late to work, but I was like, fuck it. That was worth it.
Aw.
But oh my gosh, I was like, oh,
What a
just
whirlwind.
Go to school.
That actually reminds me of like where you're like everything's going so well in the morning. It reminds me of like this morning. I was up at like 6:30. I worked out. I like emptied the dishwasher. I got my kids' school all done. I got ready. I made some TikToks. I posted
Did it all.
something on Instagram that somebody wanted
Ignored
me to.
me for half an hour.
I didn't realize she was literally sitting in the porch, like waiting for me. And I was like, when did you get here? She's like a half an hour ago. I was just like upstairs living my life and I didn't even know she was down here.
I thought you were like getting ready or something. Cause like, I feel like that happens a lot. And Judah like yelled. The dogs freaked out when I came in.
So I heard the dogs, but then I just like
But they
sometimes
freak
when
out a
there's
lot.
like they were watching like a science episode on YouTube like for part of their school this morning. And so sometimes like if a doorbell rings on the show, they'll just like bark. And so sometimes I just assume it's that, I guess.
Well, then Judah yelled. Like Judah and Naya were both like, Lindsay's here. So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
Then I was like,
did
oh, I'll
not
set
hear that.
up. I was like, I need to kind of actually go over the plan for this podcast. I like put in a grocery order.
She was a
We were
productive
all
bitch.
We were both being productive. Like it's not like I just sat here and was like, Brittany,
Pining away. Are you coming down yet?
are you gonna come out with me?
It's so funny. I just was like, did not even realize you were here. But I was just like on top of it. I was getting
Yeah.
information from like other moms, like for my tips today. And I just thought it was just so funny because she was just here the whole time.
Oh,
Do you want to read? We got a really awesome review. If you guys would rate and review our podcast, that would help so much, and share it with any parents that you think would like our show. We both would appreciate that so much. And I want Lindsay to read one of our awesome reviews we got.
I wish that the apps would just realize that this is my podcast and like bring it up.
I know. It's like, it's not.
I have to like search it like a normal human and I'm like, this is my show. So we do have 15 5-star reviews on
17.
Apple Podcast. Oh, we do.
Yeah,
It says
7.
15.
Wow.
They took it back.
They're like, wait, no.
So this is from our loyal listener, Mac. We love her. She said, raw, real, relatable. And then can I like click in? There's like a little,
I know. I couldn't click that.
I don't know what else it
The
says.
title was too long for us to be able to see the rest, but
We love it.
raw, real, relatable is good enough.
So this is right from the get-go of listening to this podcast. I felt like I fit right in. I find myself laughing right alongside, nodding my head and talking to my husband about the podcast after listening to each episode. I will be a forever listener. Oh, I got
Yay.
goosebumps.
Thank you for the
Oh,
review.
thanks,
That's
Mac.
so nice. That's
We love
exactly
it.
what we're hoping.
Yes, this is like our main goal is to like create a community and a place of like a little bit of an escape. We hope we can make you giggle, maybe make your life a little bit easier. We do have a badass community on Facebook if you want to join that, just for like a community. Yeah, we just love doing this and we hope that we can keep doing it and we hope we touch people's lives.
Mm-hmm. On that note,
Every
every week we freeze because I keep wanting to say the tagline that popped in my head this morning.
What was the tagline?
Not Your Average Mamas, a podcast by moms for moms. But it's really for all parents, so it's not like completely right.
Awkward.
But it's still kind of catchy,
Yeah, it is.
I'm just going to say. But just remember, you can be above average.
You can be below average.
Just don't be average. Bye.
Bye. Ring,
Ding, 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 ding. This is a Morbid Mom Minute. No, just kidding. I'm I'm kidding. I don't have any either.
We already had one at the beginning.
I know. That was, yeah.
We already brought it down. We can't bring it down again.
No, we got to end on a high note. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Ta-da!